Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. 7 o'clock and I'm just on my way to work. And I still struggle to get up in the mornings. Set my alarm for 4:30. I've on for 4:45. Still don't get up for 6 o'clock. Well, for all you drivers out there, you don't realise how much of a privilege it is to be sat in your car driving. Because it's something we all take for granted, isn't it? Hey? Lose my car, I'm buggered for shopping, buggered for work. There's no jobs around this area. Go down here because they're not changing. Well guys, went to court yesterday, as you all know. That was one scary day. Tried arguing my case that there was safety cameras and not speed cameras, and there was no safety issue there at no later than 5:30 in the morning. The judge asked me if I needed to go outside and consider my thoughts. The judge was trying to help me actually. I think he wanted me to take it on for a full trial with a jury, be adjourned. Twice he advised it in the court meeting. He even told me what I needed to do. Is to ring the council, ask for the date they actually stopped the work commencing, they actually took the signage down and the speed light, the illuminations and the cameras. Then I was having to ring the traffic management or write them a letter. So I did ask the judge, I said, that's pointless going out, judge. I said, that just means me having to do more work. And it looming over my head for another year. That stressed me out. So I pleaded on hardship. Explained my situation, that work had ceased, lorry driving, New Year. Was without work for 2.5 months. Said as much as I tried, I couldn't get any work in the area. So I've had to work out of town, which I need my car to. Then he asked me if I was going to if I was to ban you, the judge, he said if I was to ban you on a very short ban, would it benefit you? It would have, to become a lorry driver again. It would have benefited me great, a 3-month ban, if I'd have had the money to support myself, but I haven't. So I had to think of this job I'm in, or the next job that I'm going to. So I didn't get a ban, I just got 12 points on my licence, which prevents me from getting a lorry driving job, because most other companies they'll let you only run with 9 points on your licence, some are just 6. But overall, a lot of people would have took a solicitor in that court. And I reckon if I'd have took a solicitor, I'd have got a ban. Mind you, I don't think so with this judge. He was a decent judge actually. Pleasant, helpful. But on a few occasions he says you can plead not guilty, adjourn it, and get facts and figures. I didn't want to go down that route, I'm not knowledgeable enough. I haven't got the time to fanny about writing letters to companies. As I said to the judge, I can't get the proof. I said there was no signage. If I'd have known I was going to get nicked, I would have took cameras of it, video. do a grueling job, which is really hard work. I've come from a job sat on my ass doing absolutely nothing unless I want to do it, to full on manual workout all day long. Surprising what graft you have to do in these recycle centres. Sieving out plastic. I feel like sticking a dump when I'm working there, sorting different types of plastic, and I never knew there was that many different types of plastic. Never knew. I had a rough idea, like you just don't think about it. Well, there's that many different grades of plastic. Now I'm just learning the trade, so I can't really say a lot. I just know a couple of different types of plastic, that's all. Sad. Sad boys needed to know. Recommend anyone who's going to court for speeding and going to lose your licence, represent yourself. I was ill prepared, very ill prepared, and I had a full year knowing it was coming, but I leave everything to the very last minute. I left it that late yesterday. I thought the hearing was 1 o'clock. I'm still in my dressing gown at 9:15, 10:15, and I thought I'll just check the paperwork, and I see the case was at 11 o'clock and you have to be there half an hour early. I was like, whoa, panic on. Didn't take me scripts or nothing. Always best to write everything down, questions, get it on paper, take it with you, reel it off. I did none of that, just come straight off my head. I remember the day clear as, well, I remember the week actually, clear as a bell. And it was funny when they was reeling all the cases off. Come to the second one, I disagreed with that. Because the speed camera was actually at this point here, coming up here. And this was merging into a 50, it's a 70 mile an hour zone. Coming up just now. So when it was roadworks, it was 50. They got me doing 47 mile an hour. I argued the case there. Then they said I was doing 53 mile an hour or whatever it was. I said, you're on a 50 mile an hour zone. Woman there was arguing. Judge let me have my say. Shut her up. And then when I was leaving, the judge went, you don't want to believe everything you listen to. Because I told him on my mitigation form, and it was true, I'm not lying. It stated on national radio and local radio that the roadworks on the M180 had actually ceased. And 3 days after that is when they got me speeding for a week. And the judge looked at that, because my first one was a mile an hour over. Then it progressed through the week. Just looked at that and said, you've had a clean licence for all these years. It was obviously a genuine mistake. And then I had to explain that I was all illuminated. When there was operational, they set the illumination down, and one thinks that the road's back to normal. I enjoyed it actually. It's an experience. And that's what I want British Gas to do, take me to court, but I know they won't. They've got no intention of taking me to court. They did, they'll lose the case. Even when the Ombudsman got involved with the case with British Gas, and they was arguing, telling me it's a different type of contract. I'm like, well, tell me the contract that don't need an agreement on both sides, Mr. Ombudsman. And he couldn't. closed. I don't want to know. Because you're in favour of the fucking big corporations, you corrupt bastards. Going back to court, he was on about this speed, and I kept overriding him saying, I don't speed. At the moment, I'm on a 70 mile an hour road and I'm doing 55 mile an hour. So I do keep to the speed limit most of the time. There's a time and place to go speeding. When you're clinging on to a point. I do not like coming to work, guys, to be honest with you. I do not thrive to get up in the mornings. Like I just said, I set my alarm for fucking 4:30, 4:45. I'm thinking of getting my third alarm clock on to make sure I'm up at 5:30. Was it about 5 to 6 I woke up this morning? Shot out of bed, cooked my porridge. I can't believe I have a breakfast. Ever since I started this job, I've been having a breakfast every single day. I make sure I get it. I could turn to work late. Now, if I had a breakfast, I used to have that attitude with a cup of tea. Couldn't leave. Oh, bastard, I forgot my cup. Bastard. Excuse me, French. That's really got me goat. Now I have to go buy a shit cup of coffee. Be late for work. What a bummer. That's because I've left up late. Left everything till the last minute again. Crazy. I can't be in one of them for 3 years unless someone will employ me with 12 points on my licence, and I can't see that happening. But I am looking into renting my own. Because I don't really like this job, to be fair. Me up. I ripped my shoulder muscle the first week. Then I had a massive big accident, and that just tore my tricep open. Made more damage to my shoulder. It is absolutely physical manual graft. See if I've got enough time to get a coffee. If the butty van's here. Can't go to work without a cup of tea all day, and I ain't sharing a cup that I don't get bloody washed very often. Right guys, I'll pause you here. £15 for a cup of tea. That I probably won't have time to drink. Because it's about 7:30 now. That's one burger van I will never get food from. I caught her pissing in a bucket one day when I went to get a bacon bun. She got up off this bucket, didn't even wash her hands, and did me bun. So I let her do it and said, you can have that, you dirty bitch. And that must have been about 15 years ago, and that's the first time I've been back. And that's because I need a cup of tea. Well, I need a cup. I won't be working for them for a while. Unless they'll let me run on 12 points if they want me back. Grateful I've got a job, guys, but I don't like working here. To be fair and honest, I sort of enjoy the manual graft work at times, but I'm not in my 30s. Right guys, I've got to go. I'll catch you all later on. Have a good day all.